630.
An update tonight on the public corruption scandal where a former Omaha City Council member, 2 retired Omaha cops, and a fundraiser were all indicted by the feds.
Tonight we're learning one of them is pressing forward, planning to go to trial. Jack Olson, the former chief fundraiser for the Latino Peace Officers Association. He is planning to challenge the 4 felony charges, including wire fraud and conspiracy. The government alleges that Olson's only income came from money that was supposed to go to the nonprofit. A trial for Jack Olson is expected to take place in federal court in Lincoln in April.
Olson, along with Vinny Palermo, Johnny Palermo, and Richie Gonzalez have all been in county jail since April. Vinny Palermo is expected to be sentenced in January after pleading guilty to wire fraud with a recommended sentence not to exceed 21 months. Retired officer and former Latino Peace Officer President Johnny Palermo, no relation, is due in court in January to change his plea to guilty. And retired police captain Richie Gonzalez and his legal team have been working on a plea deal, but we don't have any details from that just yet.
There is hope